Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt a quiet sense of unease? Not because of a new wrinkle or a gray hair. No, it's something deeper. You look into your own eyes and see a stranger looking back, a person who feels stuck, who feels like they are bracing against the flow of life, rather than moving with it. Our world tells you that aging gracefully is a battle to be won on the surface. It's about diets and creams, and procedures designed to preserve the shell of your youth. But this is a profound misunderstanding. Ancient wisdom from traditions across the world teaches us that true grace in aging has nothing to do with fighting the current of time. It's about learning to flow with it, with depth, wisdom, and an ever-expanding heart. It's the difference between a stone that is weathered down by the river and a river that carves the stone into a thing of beauty. The most transformative insight you can have is this: there is your chronological age, the number of years the world counts for you, and then there is your inner age, the age of your spirit. You are not aging gracefully when the calendar moves forward, but your spirit remains frozen in the past, burdened by old pains, shrinking from new experiences, and constantly seeking validation from a world that will never truly know your heart. The external body is designed to change, but the internal spirit is designed to expand. Today, we will walk a quiet path together. We will explore the 6 transformative understandings that reveal whether you are truly aging with grace from the inside out. This isn't about judgment. It is about awareness. It is about gently turning your gaze inward and discovering the profound freedom that comes when you learn not just to grow old, but to grow whole. The first profound sign that you are not aging gracefully is this: you are at war with time, not in a dance with it. Think about how this feels in your day-to-day life. It's that constant, low-level anxiety that there is never enough time. It's the feeling of your heart sinking a little when a birthday approaches, not as a celebration, but as an indictment. It's the phrases that fall from your lips without thought. I can't believe it's already November, or where did the last 10 years go? It's the frantic need to fill every moment with activity, to distract yourself from the quiet, insistent ticking of the clock. This isn't just being busy. This is a form of resistance. It's the spiritual equivalent of clenching your fist, trying to stop the wind from blowing. You feel rushed, you feel behind, and you feel a sense of dread that time is a thief, stealing your youth and your opportunities. The laws of nature itself reveal a deeper truth. Look at a great tree. Does it curse the coming of winter? No. It understands that winter is a season of deep rest, of gathering strength in the roots, of preparing for the inevitable return of spring. The tree doesn't fight the seasons, it dances with them. It surrenders to the cycle. This struggle against time is a struggle against the very essence of life, which is change, flow, and transformation. To be at war with time is to be at war with yourself, for you are a part of nature's unfolding rhythm. From a space of deep awareness, we find that time is not an enemy to be conquered, but a current to be navigated. When you fight it, you create exhaustion and friction. When you learn to move with it, you discover a sense of peace and effortless power. Aging gracefully begins the moment you decide to lay down your weapons and stop fighting a war that can never be won, and instead, learn the steps to the dance. The second core understanding is this: your memories have become burdens that you carry, not lessons that you cherish. You know this feeling intimately. You are washing the dishes, and suddenly, your mind is not in the warm water. It's back in an argument that happened 15 years ago. You're driving to work, and a wave of regret washes over you for a path not taken, a word not spoken, or a mistake you can never undo. These memories are not gentle visitors, they are intruders. They arrive uninvited and leave behind a residue of sadness, guilt, or anger. You may find yourself telling the same stories of grievance over and over, not to heal, but to keep the wound fresh. You are living your present moment as a hostage to your past. The weight of these unresolved memories makes your spirit heavy and tired, preventing you from moving forward with a light heart. Ancient wisdom teaches us that the past is meant to be a place of learning, not a place of residence. Imagine you are walking a long path, and with every difficult experience, you pick up a stone. If you continue to carry all the stones, your bag will become so heavy that you can no longer walk. Wisdom is not the act of pretending the stones don't exist. It is the practice of looking at each stone, understanding the lesson it taught you about your footing or your balance, and then setting it down, grateful for the teaching. To carry resentment, regret, and anger from the past is to insist on being punished for a crime long after the sentence has been served. You are the one who continues to hold the hot coal, believing it is harming another, while only burning your own hand. True liberation is realizing that your past does not have to define you. It is a well of wisdom from which you can draw, not a pit of regret in which you must drown. This leads us to the third profound truth. Your world is shrinking, not expanding. What does a shrinking world feel like? It's the subtle, creeping resistance to trying new things. It's the restaurants you no longer go to, the hobbies you've let slide, the friendships you haven't nurtured. Your comfort zone, once a healthy home base, has become a fortress. You find yourself saying no more than you say yes. You might feel a growing sense of cynicism or distrust toward the world. The music of today sounds like noise. The ideas of the younger generation seem foolish. Your opinions become rigid, your routines inflexible. You prefer the predictable safety of what you know over the expansive, sometimes messy, reality of what is. This isn't a sign of contentment. It is a symptom of fear. You have started the process of slowly, quietly, closing the doors and windows to your own heart. The laws of nature show us that anything that stops growing begins to stagnate. A river that stops flowing becomes a swamp. A tree that stops reaching for the light begins to wither. The human spirit is no different. We are designed for continual growth, for curiosity, for expansion. Graceful aging is not about settling into a fixed identity. It is about having the courage to continuously become. It is recognizing that with each passing year, you have the opportunity to learn more, love more deeply, and see the world with greater wisdom and compassion. To stay open to life is to stay alive in the truest sense of the word. A wise elder is not someone who knows everything, but someone who has never lost their sense of wonder. If this path of inner discovery resonates with you, if you feel a calling to journey with others who are also learning to walk in this more conscious way, then I invite you to subscribe. This is not just a channel, it is a quiet space, a digital sanctuary for our community to explore these transformative ideas together. Join us, and let's continue the conversation. Do not allow your life to become a museum of the past. Let it be a vibrant, evolving garden where new seeds are always being planted. The fourth revealing sign is this: you are desperately seeking validation from the outside, not cultivating peace from within. This often manifests as a deep preoccupation with what other people think. It's the anxiety you feel after a conversation, replaying your words, wondering if you said the right thing. It is the hollow feeling that comes when a post on social media doesn't get enough likes. It's the drive to accumulate status, wealth, or possessions, not for the joy they bring, but for the approval they might win from others. You might find yourself agreeing with people you don't respect just to keep the peace. You might dress a certain way or live in a certain place, driven by a need to project an image of success. But the core feeling is a sense of deep insecurity. Your self-worth feels like it is on loan from the world, and you live in constant fear that the loan will be recalled. From a space of deep awareness, we understand that seeking validation from the outside is like trying to quench your thirst with salt water. The more you drink, the thirstier you become. This is because the world outside of you can only see the surface. It sees your achievements, your appearance, your role in society. It cannot see your heart, your journey, your inner truth. Lasting peace and a stable sense of self can only be found by turning your attention inward. It is the practice of self-acceptance. It is learning to listen to the quiet, steady voice of your own soul, which tells you that you are enough. Right now, just as you are. True sovereignty is when the opinion of the world becomes a gentle whisper, but the voice of your own inner wisdom becomes a powerful guide. Stop asking the world for permission to be worthy. Your worth is not a petition to be signed by others, but a truth to be realized within yourself. The fifth transformative insight is closely related. You measure your life in what you have accumulated, not in who you have become. Look around your life. How do you measure your own success? For many, the evidence of a life well lived is a collection of things. It's the size of the house, the number in the bank account, the titles on the business card. There is nothing inherently wrong with these things, but they are the scenery of your life, not the substance of it. The subtle suffering of this mindset is a feeling of constant comparison. You look at what others have, and you feel a pang of envy or inadequacy. There is a sense that you are falling behind in a silent race. There is never a moment of arrival because the goalposts are always moving. You achieve one goal, and for a brief moment there is satisfaction, but it is quickly replaced by the anxiety of the next acquisition. It's an exhausting, endless climb on a ladder that is leaning against the wrong wall. Spiritual traditions around the world remind us of a profound truth. You came into this world with nothing, and you will leave with nothing. The only thing you truly cultivate during your time here is the quality of your own consciousness. The true measure of a lifetime is not its duration or its acquisitions, but its depth. Who have you become? Have you become more compassionate, more forgiving, more courageous in speaking your truth? Have you learned to love more unconditionally? Have you found a sense of peace in the midst of life's storms? These are the real treasures. This is the inner gold that cannot be bought or sold. This is the legacy that is written not on a stone monument, but in the hearts of those you have touched. Do not be so busy building a life that looks good on the outside that you forget to build a soul that feels good on the inside. Finally, the sixth core understanding of what it means to age with grace. You fear endings, instead of trusting that they are the sacred ground for new beginnings. This is perhaps the most fundamental fear of all. It is the fear of retirement, the fear of children leaving home, the fear of a relationship ending, the fear of losing your physical abilities, and ultimately, the fear of death. It's the desperate clinging to what is familiar, even if it is no longer serving you. You might stay in a job you dislike, simply because the alternative is unknown. You may feel a deep sense of aimlessness when a major chapter of your life concludes, as if your identity has been erased. The future doesn't feel like a space of possibility, it feels like a void. This fear creates a kind of spiritual paralysis. It prevents you from taking risks, from being vulnerable, and from fully embracing the present moment, because you are constantly dreading the moment it will end. The laws of nature are the ultimate teachers about endings and beginnings. For a seed to become a sprout, it must cease to be a seed. The caterpillar must dissolve in the chrysalis to become the butterfly. Autumn leaves must fall for the tree to survive the winter and blossom in the spring. Every ending in nature is not a tragedy. It is a necessary and beautiful part of a larger cycle. An ancient master once said that the secret to a long life is to die every day. This means dying to the past, dying to your old ideas of who you are, dying to your regrets and grievances, so that you can be reborn in the freshness of the present moment. True grace is found in this surrender. It is the deep trust that when one door closes, the universe always, without fail, opens another. It may not be the door you expected, but it will be the door you need. The purpose of a lifetime is not to arrive safely at death, but to slide in sideways, thoroughly used up, with a joyful heart, proclaiming, "What a ride!" So, where do you find yourself on this journey? Perhaps some of these truths resonated more than others. That is a beautiful thing. It is the first step. Graceful aging is not a standard to be achieved, but a path to be walked. It is a practice. It is the daily, moment-to-moment choice to meet life with an open heart, to let go of your war with time, to release the burdens of the past, to keep your world expanding, to find your validation from within, to measure your life by the growth of your spirit, and to trust in the sacred rhythm of beginnings and endings. This is the art of becoming an elder, not just an older person. An elder is a lighthouse, a source of quiet strength and wisdom, not because they have avoided the storms, but because they have learned to navigate them with grace. By subscribing to this community, you are not just following a channel. You are making a quiet, powerful commitment to yourself. A promise to tend to your inner garden. A promise to honor the deep wisdom that is already within you, waiting to be discovered. If you feel called to this journey, join us. Let's walk this path together.